Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We are going to get started in just a couple of minutes to ensure everyone who wants to join can. So hold tight while we get started. Okay, thank you everyone so much for joining our Fish Protection Prize applicant webinar. We're going to get started and we have some slides to review for everyone. First, some logistics. Everyone is joined in listen-only mode, so you will not be able to speak via the computer or phone audio. If you're having computer audio issues, do try connecting via phone. That sometimes works to alleviate those audio problems. If it doesn't work, feel free to send us a chat and we'll try and troubleshoot further. For Q&A, just submit your questions via the chat box and we'll get to them during the last portion of this webinar. The agenda for today, first we're going to run through the American-made challenges and describe what that is and what the Fish Protection Prize specifically is following the American-made challenges overview. We'll get into the timing of the prize, the various stages of that, what makes a strong submission, our next steps, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. Okay. Oops. So first, the American-made challenges is an accelerator run, supported by the U.S. Department of Energy and run through the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. The purpose of American-made challenges is to energize American ingenuity in the energy marketplace, to empower innovators with knowledge, resources, and access to rapidly transform ideas into prototypes, and to set entrepreneurs on a network-powered pathway of disruptive innovation so their ideas can become real products in months, if not years, or in months, excuse me, not years. So who can participate in the American-made Challenges platform? Really, we encourage everyone to participate in some form, but we're specifically looking at entrepreneurs, technologists, software and hardware developers, inventors, researchers, and investors. The Fish Protection Prize is what we're here to talk about today. This is a prize that is run in partnership with the Bureau of Reclamation and the U.S. Department of Energy Water Powers Technologies Office, along with the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory and the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. And we're asking folks to compete for about $700,000 in total prizes. And it seeks to catalyze new solutions, designs, and strategies to improve fish exclusion technology by decreasing the number of entrained fish from river and canal diversions, unscreened diversion pipes, or intakes at hydropower dams. Any proposed solutions can include radical new ideas or technologies, and fish exclusion ideas for any U.S. freshwater or migratory riverine species of concern at any life stage, so very broad. The prize overview, so our prize goals. While the prize is soliciting solutions of all shapes and sizes as described in the previous slide, we have identified the following 6 topic areas as having the greatest potential for successful and cost-effective fish exclusion. Those include sensory deterrence, turbulence and velocity-based deterrence, combination stimulus bearers, diversion or intake layouts, fish screen materials or coatings, or cleaning methods. So again, it's a very broad capture of topic areas that we're looking for that you could compete within. So how do you go ahead and join the Fish Protection Prize? So we encourage anyone interested in following or joining the prize to go to the American Made Challenges Fish Protection site or join directly via HeroX. HeroX is the prize platform that we run applications through. So if you have an idea and want to compete for that $700,000 of combined cash and prizes, then you would go ahead and accept the challenge via the HeroX site for the Fish Protection Prize. And it would be this big red button here that says solve this challenge. Okay, and so to describe further the Fish Protection Prize and the various stages that we've proposed for this prize, it is a 3-stage contest aimed at accelerating innovative solutions to advance fish exclusion technology. The first stage is the concept stage, which we are currently in, we have opened it up for 90 days, so we're a little more than halfway through that 90-day application period. Once we have closed it on April 24th, we will review applications and choose up to 10 finalists who will, during the incubation stage, the second stage, partner with the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory for up to 50 hours of technical assistance. Thanks, Jenny. Can you go back to the overview, actually? Sorry about that. Between July and August, and then the third contest will be the pitch contest where we'll have all 10 participants present their refined innovations to a live audience, and we will choose up to 3 winners. So now we can move on to the more detailed view of the concept. So again, the concept stage we are currently in is from January 27th is when it opened through April 24th. It will close at that time, and again, we will be reviewing all applications received to choose up to 10 finalists for that 50 hours of support, in-kind support from PNNL. The competitors during this concept stage are challenged to demonstrate the technical feasibility and analytical evidence of a concept and cultivate an R&D plan which identifies ways that PNNL could support their technology refinement to eventually build a pathway to the prototype development. During this stage, we are requesting that folks provide solution benefits, including high fish protection efficiencies, low impact to fish health and the environment, and exclusion of multiple fish species found in freshwater rivers and/or estuaries in the United States. This is certainly encouraged, though you certainly won't be disqualified if the multiple fish species criteria is not met. The evaluation criteria for this concept stage, there are 4. The first being the level of innovation, the second being the technical feasibility, market feasibility will be considered, and the research and development plan is the 4th evaluation criteria. And these are detailed in the rules document that is already published on the HeroX site and the American Made Challenges site, so I encourage folks to visit those for more detail. During the stage 2 incubation, this is also 90 days, will run from June of this year, 2020, through August of 2020. We do have some asterisks that these dates could be subject to change, though at this time we envision the prize will run as scheduled, and this incubation period will remain the same, June through August. And during this stage, the finalists from the concept stage will work with P&L for 50 hours of support to advance their concept. They'll be submitting their revised technical narrative at the end of this period, as well as a slide deck prior to the live pitch contest. And then the incubation stage competitors who failed to submit the required technical narrative and pitch deck will not qualify to present their concept during the pitch contest. The pitch contest, which is the 3rd stage of this prize, will occur in September of this year. And this is where our competitors, or up to 10 competitors, will present in front of a live audience. And certainly that, with our current environment and the limitation of travel and conferences, we will restructure this live contest as needed. The components of the pitch contest will be a 10-minute pitch and a 10-minute Q&A session, which will be guided by our reviewers that we invite to the pitch contest. And the presentations will be scored based both on the pitch and the revised required technical submission. A panel of reviewers will be selected by the Water Power Technologies Office and the Bureau of Reclamation, and they will again guide the reviews of those up to 10 finalists. And at the pitch contest, there will be the announcement of the 3 winners, up to 3 winners, and the $700,000 cash and in-kind award prize pool. So as mentioned earlier, if you have not done so already, I encourage you to read the rules document that is published on the AmericanMadeChallenges.org site. The link is listed below here on the bottom of this slide. And this will provide all of the information needed to guide you through all stages of the Fish Protection Prize and will guide your application content. So strategies for the concept stage, your checklist to win, if you will. The first item, strategy. So certainly identify a solution to prevent fish from swimming into water infrastructure. Do some research, some background research on existing problems with fish exclusion technology, and then refine the concept. The second, your team. We encourage you to build a great team. It helps to have, cross-industry or collaborative team of folks who bring multiple skill sets on board. Check the teaming tool on HeroX. So there is a collaborative forum on HeroX that allows you to reach out and search for skill sets that may be missing from your team or vice versa. And find mentors. Certainly that's a great strategy for any endeavor. The third, work. Make as much progress as possible over the 90-day concept period. Advance your solutions as much as possible over the contest period, engage with the HeroX community, and be sure to talk to as many people as possible about your idea to get some feedback. And for submit, complete your submission package through the HeroX platform, or unfortunately you won't be able to compete. And late submissions are not accepted, so we do follow the timelines very strictly. Important dates to consider during the concept stage. The submission opened January 27th of this year. It will close on April 24th, and we expect the winner notification to occur on or right around May 20th of 2020. So what will you submit during the concept stage? Cover page content is very general, describes your team name and the folks who make up your team. This is public but not scored. Your submission summary slide, also some overview content that briefly describes at a high level, or graphics that describe your innovation. This is also to be made public, but it will not be scored. The 90-second video summary will be made public and is scored. And the technical narrative, of course, will be scored also. We have a couple of optional items that you can submit with your concept. Any supporting documentation that helps to explain or justify your concept in further detail, and letters of commitment or support, should they be applicable. Now, within the technical narrative, there are 4 components, as briefly described earlier in this presentation. The innovation. So the question asked here is, does your concept represent a novel solution that offers an effective fish exclusion system for one or more species? The technical feasibility component of the narrative. Is your solution technically feasible? Market feasibility. Can you prove the financial feasibility of your proposed solution, including the potential for commercialization and successful market adoption? And your R&D plan. What is your plan to achieve your goals? And certainly in this, in the last R&D plan category, identifying how you would utilize the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory to help get you there. During the concept stage evaluation, so there again are 2 scored parts of the submission, the 90-second video summary and the technical narrative. This table explains how the final scores are calculated. So you can see in the item category, the 90-second video summary is 1 line item. The technical narrative is split into the 4 criteria that we just went through. And there are a number of scored statements attached to each of those items. And they will make up the percentage of a total score and the total possible points that you can receive for any one section of the item. So as you can see in the 90-second video summary, there is 1 scored statement attached to that video summary. It is 5%. Thank you. Sorry. So the 90-second in detail, the 90-second video summary, you would post your publicly accessible video online, either via YouTube or Vimeo or any other publicly accessible platform. Reviewers will score the video based on the content you have provided, not the quality of the video itself. So that's a very important note. We're not looking for a high production value. It's more about the content, the technical content on the video, and how you describe your innovation. And certainly be creative. That's with anything. The suggested content provided a concise summary of your concept innovation, technical feasibility, market feasibility, and your research and development plan, and an introduction to your team. And the scored statement is that the proposed solution presents a clear and concise summary of the concept and introduces the project team. So that's fairly straightforward. Next steps. We encourage you to create a HeroX account and follow the challenge if you have not already done so. Start forming your team and develop a great idea. Compete now. Earlier is better, though we recognize you'll want to be fidgeting with your concept, I'm sure, up until the last day, but an earlier submission ensures that you get it on time and get a good review. So develop a compelling submission, develop partnerships, reach out to the American Made Network community, and of course, submit your idea no later than April 24th. So we will pause here and leave some time for folks to enter their questions in the chat box. And Jenny, whenever you're ready, I'm sure you can go ahead and start listing those off.
All right, we just got our first question in here, Tessa. Is the $700,000 a cash prize, and how will it be divided out by the winners?
So it's a combined cash and in-kind prize pool. And that is the way that it is divvied up amongst winners is decided once we receive applications and have scored them appropriately.
Can you go into some detail about how to account for the 50 hours of P&L time? For example, does one P&L person account for those 50 hours?
Sure. So depending on the applications received and the support requested, there will be a period prior to negotiating an agreement with P&L that helps to define the scope of what that support will look like and that 50 hours will look like. It certainly could be more than one person if it looks like there are multiple technology areas or skill sets that are needed to support the effort. But that would be decided once and after reviewing the applications received and the support requested.
It looks like you covered most of the specifics in the presentation here, Tessa, because I think that's all of the questions that we have so far. So I will hand it back to you to close us out.
Great, sounds good. And if there are other questions, please reach out to the email listed here. It actually looks like there's a small typo. It's fish.protection@nrel.gov. And we're happy to receive those questions, or if you go into the HeroX platform and submit your questions via the forum capability there, that is also acceptable. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining, And
Sorry,
we look
Tessa, one
forward.
more in here before I end this. Is there
Please.
any resource that's available to explain the range of support that's offered by PNL?
Good question. We don't have anything listed on the HeroX site, but I encourage everyone to go and visit the Pacific Northwest National Laboratories website and see, the capabilities that they have in the fish exclusion technologies area to help identify and hone in on what their areas of expertise are and what they could potentially offer as support. And certainly during the, once we have reviewed concepts and choose finalists for the incubate stage, there will be a period where we'll run through all of the areas of expertise from PNNL and how they could support your concept refinement.
All right, thank you. And it looks like that's it.
Okay, thanks so much. And we look forward to receiving your applications. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.